to feel
How are you doing
nice.
tonight?
I'm okay.
Indeed. And welcome to a very special spooktacular
Even though it's
of the
not even
Dorks Deduction. Well, that's why we're bringing a new trend in. We're going to be bringing out scary, slightly... Well, we are a bit creepy anyway, aren't we? I must admit.
Is that why no one would talk to us in university?
No, I think there was a number of reasons, but the main one is we find this kind of macabre subject matter really fun. It's nice to talk about outside of Halloween, which makes our Halloweens kind of boring, if you think about it.
Welcome to the Dorks Deduction podcast, where we talk about stuff.
Tonight, we have a special episode where we look on the internet and find some creepypasta, some very poorly written creepypasta, and just riff on it. And this will be your first experience of it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know anything about creepypasta until you actually mentioned it to me last week. So, yeah, I'm new on this. You can teach me.
Well, we'll teach each other about the internet and slowly become better at it as we go along.
I have an English literature degree. That might help us. Not a degree.
That
A-level.
might.
A-level, not even a degree. A-level.
It won't make this any less painful. I'll let you know that now. But some of this stuff, it's not even the spelling mistakes. You won't be able to see the spelling mistakes in these things.
I saw them. I saw
you saw a
them.
few? But it's more about how the stories are written and trying to judge how old the person was who wrote them. And you'll get a fairly good idea once you start to see all the creeping up cliches, the ghoulish storylines, and yeah, they are quite shit. There's a few good ones. There are a few good ones, like the Slender Man mythos spawned from somethingawful.com as a person who posted some really well photoshopped pictures online, along with the story itself.
Yeah, that even reached Supernatural, I think. Don't quote me on this, but maybe you can quote me on it. Let us know if I'm wrong, because I really didn't like that episode. But I'm pretty sure there was a Slender Man type figure. No, there was. It was based on a website. He came from a website, The Myth, and then he came out... Well, people faked him in real life, because humans are creepy beings.
That'd be quite a good... No, I wouldn't mind watching, actually. What season is that?
I think it was 8. But I personally didn't like the episode.
I see.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Well, I might get to that, and I'll give you my full review
You'll
at some
get
point.
to that. How long have you been on season 1?
I have a list of recommendations and TV shows to watch. But you'd want to tell me to watch the first season of Prison Break. Another person has already told me to get into that.
only watch the first. Actually, no, maybe watch the second one as well, but don't watch past that.
See, I can't do that.
You
I can't just watch.
because, then you'll just be really disappointed.
Yeah.
The first season was brilliant, all right? The second season was all right, but you've got Bill Fichtner. I don't even know how to say his name. You know him.
I do not know him.
Yeah, William Fichtner. Bill Fichtner, yeah.
The model.
Wait, what?
Basically, the model-looking guy.
Is he a model-looking guy?
Oh, well, he looks good for who he is.
All
Yeah.
right. I don't know if we're thinking about the same person, but maybe.
Oh, that's a good point. No, my current track record, I'm probably thinking of some guy from an unknown TV series. Sorry, we're babbling now.
Yeah, creepypasta.
Creepypasta. So, yeah, one thing that's always struck me about this creepypasta is it's usually quite poorly written. It's like the kind of... When you've gone to a creative writing class in, say, college or high school, and maybe you've gotten a little, not even an A, just a star for your little story, and you think, I can write good now. So you start watching these films like Clockwork Orange, and for the first time, and you think you know what dark is. So you try spinning off your own little horror story, or whichever you prefer. Maybe because you saw The Grudge and thought some of the elements in that were really creepy. And they were, but those were written by proper writers. These stories are the equivalent of the brooding teenager who thinks he knows what horror is and he wants to portray his horror on the internet so others can see it. And there are generally some quite good ones out there. There are a lot of ones based on video games, which is just really annoying.
I read a couple of those. They were terrible. It's worse than fan fiction.
It really is worse than fan fiction.
Is terrible in itself.
At least fan fiction, you know what you're getting. But these guys take themselves seriously. It's always based on some sort of cliche, like a video game that's really popular at the time, a lost episode of a TV show.
I read one that was like Sonic / The Ring, and it was terrible. It sounded like an 8-year-old had written it. Actually, I'm pretty sure I've seen better writing from an 8-year-old.
Give us the gist of this story.
I don't think I got to the end. It was one of those. But it was just like some guy had received a Sonic game in the mail, but it had Sonic written on it.
That's another one. They always receive it in a very mysterious way.
Yeah, in the mail, but it wasn't an actual legit CD, okay? It had Sonic written on with black ink. And a note from the guy's friend saying, please do not play this because the guy will try and kill you.
But I didn't snap it, so, you know.
No, you could destroy it, just don't play it. It's too late for me, don't play it, just destroy it. And then he was just even though he's my best friend, I still played it anyway. And then I think that's where I stopped, because he kept saying like during the whole story. He said it about 20 times in one paragraph. And I know Americans, they use the word like instead of a comma. If you've heard, like, Californians speak.
Kind of like Scousers.
Yeah, if you've heard Californians speak, instead of, like, pausing with a comma, they say, like. I should give you an example, but I can't think of any words now. Give me something to say.
Anything starting with the phrase, and you know what?
And, you know, like, I went to the mall and, like, bought some shoes and, like... Yeah, so it was like that. Like, I'm going to keep saying like throughout this whole podcast.
Well, it's funny you say that. Like, there's certain phrases that will always creep up. Like, I just used it just now. I'm Americanized. But the words hyperrealism. Oh, this photo that came with the photo. It wasn't just real. It wasn't just a cartoon. It was hyper-realistic. You know, and this word is so comical, but for some reason it always pops up in so many of these things. I don't know why they always use the word hyper-realistic. It's like... I think they think they're just going against the trend. They're doing something that other people wouldn't, regular folk wouldn't. Yeah.
That it's only creepy losers that try and be different that use it. I apologise for saying all of these people are losers. Some of them are probably perfectly lovely people. But,
maybe.
You know, not judging by their writing, they're not.
The thing about that word is it makes you realise, yes, this is the 90s. This is probably the late 90s or early 90s generation of people writing this, because up until, say, Pokemon that had Hyper Potion, no one used Hyper to say this is, you know, really powerful stuff, not just good stuff. No one said this is not just an orange, this is a Hyper Orange. But after Hyper Potion came out, everyone started using, like, oh, it's not just powerful, it's hyper powerful.
Did they really? I was not aware of this.
Oh.
I wasn't aware.
It's just something that cropped up, and you can tell that some of these guys they're using phrases that you can trace back to your childhood in a way.
So seriously, I thought I wasn't with it in the modern generation, so I'm not even with it in, like, back in the day generation, which is where I thought I was stuck at.
But you knew about Pokemon.
I knew about Pokemon. I still do. I still play it.
Of course, yeah.
I'm almost 23 years old and a graduate, and I still play Pokemon.
I'm 24 and I have every gym badge there is. So
yes. I've battled the Elite Four several times over.
Some things are timeless.
Yeah, you know? And Pokemon's one of them. All right, we were supposed to be talking about creepypasta.
Creepypasta, of course. Yeah, and, well, here's the thing. I found a little list that I was able to compile of certain cliches. These are the general cliches you'll find in creepypasta. Okay, number one. Stories involving the soon-to-be murderous children of cartoonishly abusive parents. You get these in almost everything. Number two, anything starting with the phrase, I know you're not going to believe this, or I used to be a skeptic too, but... They get really bad.
I've seen all of these so far.
Number three, anything starting with, I used to be normal, but... Number four, anything in a story that uses plot points with the numbers 6, 13, and 666.
You know, 666
just-
isn't actually the devil's number.
I know. I've seen, what's it called? World's End with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's 999, really.
No, I don't think it's even 999. I think there's a 1 in there somewhere.
I know, that was just a really shitty plot point
I
for
have
that film.
I don't... What film was that? The World's End with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Not The World's End, sorry. What was it? Something End. But basically, the film came out in 1999. So they were
the
playing
end of Arnold
year
Schwarzenegger's
2000
career.
So, hey, that guy's going strong. I respect that guy so much. I've seen Pumping Iron, and if you haven't, you should too.
Pumping Iron?
He's smarter than
Is that gay
people give him
porn?
credit for. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, as you know, he used to be Mr. Universe, and he's won it 5 times in a row.
Did he? I thought he could only enter once.
But we find out in that film that he doesn't just love working out, but he gets the same effect of ecstasy one would get from sex from working out.
Okay.
Yeah, he describes it as it's like coming. And
So he doesn't love other women's body, he likes his own body?
Oh, he loves women's bodies, but he just gets that euphoria from working out.
Right.
And it makes you realise that is why he is as pumped as he is.
Okay, so I don't want to watch that movie. Should we carry on with the list?
You should, though. Oh, yeah, but number 5, and I've got like a whole bunch of these. Number 5, falsely believing something is over and in creepy shit happening again anyway. Number 6, using this actually happened to me, or this isn't creepypasta, it really happened, in an attempt to turn up suspense. It only kills it, really. You have to believe me, or you won't believe this. If it was real, you wouldn't be writing it, okay? When you don't take yourself seriously and you just want to tell a story, that's great. But when and it probably worked in the early days of the internet, but this isn't the days of Blair Witch anymore. You know, you can't fool people anymore. Okay, number 9, ending the pasta with, "You're next," or, "You read this as well, didn't you? This cursed scroll." Number 8.
Scroll.
Number 8, making the first word, letter, or every paragraph spell out something, or something cryptic that, you know, they give a false sense of, this is quite a smart piece, you know, which usually comes up to the lines of, "Don't look behind you," or "Check your wardrobe," or something. Oh, my God. Pointless violence and excessive gore. That's number 7. Most of the time, it's just lame. It's just for shock value. And real horror doesn't come from, you know, someone outright just bleeding everywhere. Number 10. Starting a story with, "Don't read this or you'll be cursed," or similar will just make people not read it. It's kind of like number 8, really.
I'd probably still read it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're all schmucks.
Yeah. I'd probably be the guy that found the Sonic game and plugged it in to start playing it anyway, even though I was warned that it would kill me. Why was I just taking the piss? I would probably do that.
Exactly. You'd be more scared about it having a virus on your computer.
Yeah,
really,
but I've got a
anything.
Mac,
Yeah.
alright, so I think I'm safe.
There you go. Of course, that's fine. There's 2 more. Number 11, file extensions. Now, what these are when they include some sort of JPEG or something that's meant to make it more realistic, like a blog. Someone that's writing a blog that goes over time and takes time to actually come out. They put in entries so that it looks realistic, and every entry has some more foreboding stuff. But usually these blogs are actually more informative than real-life blogs, which ironically kills it. So, yeah, some of these also aren't good for your computer, I've found. Some people actually complain about them, so careful with those. And number 12, using the word hyper-realistic eyes, hyper-realistic images.
So just anything involving hyper.
Hyper-realistic. This one I like. Whenever they describe the monster or the thing that's chasing them, maybe 90 times out of 100, they will have empty sockets for eyes or bleeding eyes. Or
Hey. When I was younger, I wrote a short story called Lizard Eyes. I thought I should just let you know about that one. But that one was a story I entered into a competition and won.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really?
Yes.
And that was the days before Creepypasta?
That was the days before Creepypasta. You're making me feel so old. That was the days before Creepypasta. and it got published, and that's the only thing my mum tells people about. That was when I was like 12. So my mum hasn't been proud of me since I was 12.
Congratulations, you might have been the actual trendsetter.
Lizard eyes. Some guy with lizard eyes was chasing a girl.
Now, lizard eyes can be quite creepy. I always remember the opening intro of the Goosebumps show. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I used to love that.
And the little dog that would suddenly get lizard eyes. Nowadays, it's hilarious as hell. But back then, it gave me shivers. Ooh, lizard eyes on anything.
I used to love it. Okay, no, because okay. So, listeners, I should probably tell you I'm a bit sadistic, all right? And I don't get creeped out by the stuff that you get creeped out by. I quite enjoy it. If I'm staring at my shelf of DVDs now, none of the scary movies in there are scary apart from the documentaries on serial killers.
See, I think you are the only one that would go, it's not scary. See, it's written by someone at the end or something.
Yeah, fiction to me is not scary. Okay, maybe slightly creepy occasionally, not creepypasta creepy, because they're not creepy. But yeah, real life is the scary stuff, alright?
Yeah.
But I still indulge in the real life serial killers mythos and stuff. I'm so weird.
Oh, God.
It's not zombies I have a thing for, it's serial killers.
I remember you telling me about that book you had. I actually ended up having the same book.
What book? I read a book.
It was 1001 Crimes.
Oh, I've got that.
Serial killers.
Yeah, I've got that.
That's when I knew we were meant to make this podcast.
This is not about serial killers, it's about creepypasta.
Oh, I mean in general.
Make a podcast documenting all our victims. That's our spin-off for the Creepypasta podcast. The Dorks Deduction podcast, sorry, not Creepypasta. Yeah.
If we get caught, we'll have a fandom. We might be able to get out like Jeremy Clarkson.
You know what? Serial killers do have fandoms.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't there a couple that almost had wives because of their fandoms?
I'm pretty sure a lot of those, because they're allowed to get married when they're in prison. I don't think they should really have any sort of rights or contact with the outside world if they're in prison for serial murder, but whatever.
There was a whole thing about British women falling in love with these Miami jail prison road convicts.
I think I read something that there was like a magazine of convicts that people could buy. So mugshots of all people that have been imprisoned, and then you can write to them. So like women get the magazine Tinder. And they pick men out and they write to them.
They're literally flicking to the right as they look through all these faces. My God.
Oh, God.
That's
so
more scary than any creepypasta on this list. Before I read out our little tale of the crypt tonight, I'm going to cover some
finished?
The list is finished, cool. But I'm going to quickly give you a rundown of about some of the forms these creepypastas take. Like, obviously, you get your stories, like Lizard Eyes. You know, you get your main stories that just tell a story. I'm so going to just publish that on creepypasta now. The book that it was in has been discontinued, so it needs a second life. Hey, yeah, do it if you can.
We should write
these are usually the best types of creepypasta because they're not taking themselves seriously. They're telling a story, and you know it fulfills what it sets out to do. If the monster is great, it's good. The only thing is they fall into the whole line of soulless eyes, and the monster's just another generic pale, slender figure, which is another thing. There's so many Slender Man rip-offs now. But then we get to the other story, which is told from the perspective of a supposedly real person who is about to die, is dead, or can't live his life anymore. He's going to commit suicide because he can't live with what he's just seen. And these are the ones that this is where it starts to try and be real, which has its own funfair of comedic value, if you will. Then you get the game creepypastas, like we've already told.
Which are just stupid.
They work on the like the Pokemon Lavender Town theme was one of the originals because it was actually embedded in reality. There was some news about Japanese children getting severe headaches from the original Lavender Town theme because the old Game Boy could emit sounds that grown-ups couldn't hear, but children could. So when we listen to it on YouTube now, it sounds different from what it would have sounded like as a kid. So that is quite creepy, actually. It's like stuff that kids are seeing that we aren't hearing, that we can't hear ourselves, so we can't help them. Then there's the lost episode of a TV show, which is unbelievably dark, has satanistic symbols, or one of the characters rapes or murders someone and never mentions it again. Obviously, a lot of these are kids shows to make it even darker. There's one about SpongeBob where Squidward commits suicide.
Oh, we should send that to Lana.
Oh, she'd love that, wouldn't she?
Yes.
But yeah, this is just... I love how they can be categorised, basically. But yeah, if you're interested, I'm going to ring you, Jeff the Killer, and I want you, Tamim, to give me your honest opinion about what you think about this.
Okay, I have it in front of me as well, so I can look at any spelling mistakes. You've just sent it to me, so I've opened it up.
Perfect. And one thing I should know about Jeff the Killer is the image...
It's quite lengthy.
Yeah, it is quite lengthy. I'll be as quick as I can, but, I'll still keep it at a certain performance level. The image that came with this is a lot more famous than the actual story itself, No one really cared about the story. I mean, these creepypasta people, they have a community and they love each other, so, they always see them rating up their own things, but...
Yeah, they rate each other. That's the only reason they get ratings.
So when you see one that's been rated down by the community...
That means one of the outsiders have come in and actually looked at it with and they had an objective point of view.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Or, even better, the story is so bad, even the creepypasta guys are going, oh, what the fuck is this? This thing's creepy. But yeah, I take you now to the tale of Jeff the Killer. Okay. It should be noticed that the story starts off with the excerpt from a local newspaper, which says, ominous unknown killer is still at large.
Can I just say, I actually quite like the fact that they're inserting a newspaper article in the story.
It's not a real newspaper
article. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know it's not a real one, but I like bringing in other media into it, okay? If I was filming a horror movie, I would so record a news program and insert it in, or any sort of.
But
movie.
You would actually include the picture of the newspaper. Would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be quite nice.
This is just 2 sentences.
Also have it in a different format.
Exactly.
Okay, carry on. I'm keep interrupting. Carry on.
No, dude. I'm going to read this sentence now. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. So, this is a story about the survivor telling his story. And here we go. This is exactly what I was talking about before. Cliché number 1, the survivor. This really happened, dude. Okay. In fact... Should we take turns reading this, do you think?
Yeah, you're the only one that's read it before, so yeah. We could do it.
I've read the synopsis of it. I haven't actually read all of Jeff the Killer.
Okay.
But I've read the synopsis.
All right. Shall I take over this bit?
Yes, you do.
I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night.
Wait, sorry. Straight off the bat. Okay, no, keep going.
Sorry, let me just cough. I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. He hasn't... Okay, sorry. Okay. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed the night before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There... in the little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of 2 eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and then the suspension marks. Just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth. A long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase, but said in a way only a madman could speak.
Oh, perfect. Well done reading that.
I didn't crack up too much.
Straight away, you're starting to see some borderline cliches popping up. It's fair enough. At least he does paint the scene.
Ominous eyes.
They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's a very easy way of saying, I can't think of any more descriptions that would actually make someone terrified. I'm just going to say how I felt.
Yeah.
Because no one can argue with that, right? Yeah. Okay, you ready for the next bit?
Oh, are you taking it or am I taking the next bit?
I think you should do the voice.
Me do the voice of the creepy Jeff the Killer.
Yeah.
He said, "Go to sleep." I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off of me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbours hadn't alerted the police.
Because creepy paranormal monsters are afraid of the police. Yeah. Did you know that, kids? Yeah. Straight away, the dad comes in and gets a knife thrown at his shoulder. This monster, he's obviously really good with knives. He only took one, though.
And threw it at his shoulder.
He fought back, though. He kicked and punched. He rolled around. I don't know what rolling around will do, but he rolled around, trying to knock him off him. Yeah, so well done, Dad, for coming in. I mean, no one here actually screamed. Oh, wait, no, he did, didn't he? He let out a scream.
Yeah, that's why his dad came in. Come on, keep up, Chris.
Of course. I'm sorry, I'm going all senile here. Almost 24 now. So far, so good. We're having a ball with this one, I think. Shall I read the next one?
If you'd like.
Thank you very much. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing. I'll never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head.
Wait a minute. So he will never forget that face, but all he talks about is his eyes and his smile. How about, any other defining features, like a scar, his hair colour? What shade of colour was it? Was he olive-skinned? Was he pale-skinned?
I mean, looking at this picture, which is supposed to correspond with the story, you could think of some pretty... it's not going to be hard to find this guy in a lineup, let's just say that. The guy looks like someone's really rude caricature of, say, Michael Jackson or something.
Yeah. I haven't seen the picture. I'm just going to judge.
You haven't seen the picture?
I'm just judging by what you're telling me because I don't have the picture.
In that case, we're going to get to the end of the story. Don't look yet. And we'll show you the picture and let's see if that matches what's come up in your head. Is the picture
at the end of the story?
I think it might be, actually.
I haven't scrolled that far down.
Are you getting scared?
Yes, I'm terrified.
It's quite a creepy photo. But
if it's of Ted Bundy, then I am terrified.
Oh no, you're fine. Hopefully the story will make you laugh enough to actually make him quite lovable.
Okay.
So here we go. Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in the story, please contact your local police department. So this is all supposed to be part of an excerpt. Creepy eyes, man. Not many people have that. And plus, he can throw a knife like a jackhammer, I swear. Okay, here we go. I think this is getting into the meat of it now. Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His family had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't complain, though. A new, better house. What's not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbours came by. Do you want to be her? Do you want to be Barbara?
Okay. Okay. People have said I look like a Barbara, so might as well. Hello, she said. I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son. She turns around and calls over her son over. Sorry, Billy. These are our new neighbours. Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard.
Well, they can quote her, but they can't quote Billy. Poor Billy. Well,
okay.
That's Billy.
All right.
We'll never see him again.
Well, said Jeff's mum, I'm Margaret. These people have such old names. Barbara and Margaret.
It's like, oh my god.
It's like a child imagining what an adult's name would be.
Yeah, and Billy is like, maybe he saw a Simpsons episode with Troy McClure earlier that afternoon. You know?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, said Jeff's mum, I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter and my two sons, Jeff and Lou. They introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said they would love to. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his room. What? Went up to his mum, sorry. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his mum.
Oh my good God. Do you think they would have fixed that? Oh my God. Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Mum, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid. It sounds like he is if he wrote this. Jeff, said his mother, we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbours. Now we're going to that party and that's final. Okay.
Wow, Mum.
Okay, Jeff started to talk but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mum said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling.
I can't describe it. You'll have to go with it.
He dismissed it as just some random feeling.
Another feeling.
The feelings. Oh, God, the feels.
It's hyper-realistic. The story is hyper-realistic.
Okay. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it.
Yeah.
The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. Okay, this time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Lou finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then, all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both...
Who does that?
I don't.
Who does...
You know what? Those kids in Kingston, they're pretty Asbo-ish with their skateboards.
I know, but I doubt they actually just inches from your lap while you're sitting in the bus stop. Really?
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. That's stupid.
They'd actually crash.
Yeah, because they crash into... No, actually, no, this is... I think this is set in America. They have different bus stops, I'm assuming, to us.
By the way, this Jeff character, they're really trying to, show his kidulthood. He has to go to a party. That's a real serial killer origin. Forced to go to a party with your mum.
Yeah, with your mum
I
and
can
your little
see
brother
why.
or sister, or whoever Lou is.
I can just feel those feels feeling in my soul.
Oh, God,
right now.
those feels.
Those feels.
Okay, right. They both jumped back in surprise. Hey, what the hell? Because that's what every teenager says.
Exactly. Hey, what the hell?
The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. The kid seems to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans. I don't know what that is. That must be some sort of brand I've never heard of.
Must be the 90s.
Yeah. Okay. Well. It looks like we've got some new meat.
I'm sorry, that is fucking 90s, man.
Suddenly, two other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge.
Oh my God, it's like the bullies out of the Never-Ending Story.
Yeah.
Like, suddenly they appeared as well. Bulk and Skull from the Power Rangers.
Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. I'd like to introduce ourselves? All right, then. Over there is Keith. Jeff and Lou looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. Who calls their child Troy? He's Troy.
I think Troy's quite cool. Now.
I do not like it. They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling.
Wow. Kick them while they're down, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Jeff's the one that's probably getting the shit beaten out of him anyway, so...
Probably,
good luck to the fat kid. And I, said the first kid, am Randy.
Oh, yes, Randy.
I am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighbourhood, there is a small price for bus fare if you catch my drift.
We get your drift, Randy. Wink, wink.
Lou stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Why... TSK. It's whatever. I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Lou and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again.
Uh-oh.
The feels. Now, it was truly strong. A burning sensation. He got up, but Lou gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet, or else. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. Oh, and what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. Of course. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over.
Oh, of course.
Lou could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff.
So now all of a sudden, Jeff's feelings or feels have made him Neo out of the Matrix.
Yeah.
He's just out of nowhere.
He learned Kung Fu.
He learned good. So yeah, he's becoming a Super Saiyan basically. It's just Jeff the Killer. He's making people throw up. He's good at fighting so far because of some feeling. Stepping back to when his mum forced him to come to a party. Yeah, it's like a superhero, or it's like the worst superhero origin Marvel could ever do.
Yes, it really is. All right.
Okay.
Should we carry on?
Yeah, let's do this.
Oh my God, we're not even like halfway through this story. Bloody hell, it's already terrible.
But they start splitting up. I think the action gets a bit more cut and paste jobby.
Really? Like the rest wasn't cut and paste from fan fiction?
I bet it was. This is bad, but it's all dialogue at some point.
Okay then. All right, Jeff, how'd you do? That was all he said. That means how do you do, not how did you do that?
Jeff, how do you... He should have put an ellipsis afterwards.
Yeah. Jeff, how do you, question mark? So, like...
So that means the sentence he meant to say was, Jeff, how do you?
How do you do? That's what I thought he meant when I first looked at it. Jeff, how do you do?
Jeff, how do you?
Yeah.
Jeff, how do you... Like, obviously, I know what he's going for. He wants to say, Jeff, how do you... And then nothing comes
there's
out.
no suspension marks at all.
Nope.
Oh, God. I feel really...
Grammar Nazi.
Yeah. But there's so many in this. Okay.
Hey, look, what we need to do and state before we go on is we don't think we're better than these guys. And these guys, look, they made a story. I'm happy they've made something that people find fun. But it is fun to rip on this stuff
I think you probably should have had your, like, year 7 teacher take a look at it before publishing it for the whole world to see.
It's on the internet.
It's on the internet. It will not die now. Nothing on the internet ever gets deleted. Just remember that.
Tell me about it.
All right. Should we carry on? Because we're already almost at an hour. Okay. Jeff, how'd you... Okay, sorry, I have to get that past this. That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing. So they started running as fast as they could. I'm pretty sure there should be a comma, not a full stop, but whatever. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Lou made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids.
Just breaking their arms. No biggie.
Yeah, but Jeff knew it was more. I still think it's phrased wrong. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. Okay. It was something scary. As he got the feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The feels.
It's hyper-realistic.
Yeah. The urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. Sounded? Okay. He felt that strange feeling going away and stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop and how he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore, he felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said in a somewhat ominous, that's the word again, ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day."
Now, how would you say an ominous voice? How does that sound? It was a wonderful day.
Why couldn't he have just been somber or something else? Why couldn't he have just opened up a thesaurus? Okay, he wrote this on the internet. There's a thesaurus on the internet.
It would have been a lot creepier if he just said it in a normal, nice voice. It was a wonderful day.
Yeah, that would have been that he was all cool with what happened about stabbing people.
Yeah. Every little thing has to have...
ominous.
Different... Yeah, exactly.
Everything has to be ominous. Okay. Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. "Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids, that it wasn't regular fighting, and then they were stabbed. Stabbed, son!" Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. "Mom, they were the ones who I'm sorry, I had to, because you spelt mum wrong. M-O-M.
Oh.
It's M-U-M.
It's American, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's the English language. It says the child of immigrants. They were the ones who pulled the knives out on me and Lou. "Son," said one of these cops, "we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, and 1 having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now, what does that tell us?" Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Lou had been attacked, but then there was no proof it was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing because, truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou. "Son, cool down your brother." Jeff couldn't do it since it was him who beat up all 3 kids. "Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Lou tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me." The cop looked at his partner, and they both nodded. "Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie."
That was the most effective policing I've seen in a very long
because there's
time.
no such thing as a trial and a jury.
No, it's just Judge Dredd executioner right there on the spot. Okay, son, that's
You know what?
life.
The scariest thing about this story is the police. I'm just like, shit, they could just send me to jail just like that. They don't like the look on my face.
That is creepy. Yeah.
It's like, bloody hell. Okay, wait, says Lou. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and launched them on Lou. "It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it? I have the marks to prove it, love." He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises as if he was in a struggle. "Son, just put the knife down," said the officer. Lou held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. "No, Lou, it was me. I did it." Jeff had tears running down his face. Poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. "Well, take me away." The police led Lou out to the patrol car. "Lou, tell them it was me. Tell them. I was the one who beat up those kids." Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulders.
What? What? Jeff's mother
Put her hand on his shoulders.
On her
Yeah, his shoulders.
I thought it said her shoulders.
I'm pretty sure I said his.
So I was like, is she giving herself a hug? Okay.
Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We know it was Lou. You can stop. Okay, Lou's her other son, all right? Wouldn't she be more frustrated and panicked about her other son being led away by police for stabbing 2 children?
Yeah, aside from favouritism, I'm pretty sure she likes Jeff better at this point.
Yeah.
But and you know, if you're struggling with money, if one kid gets taken away, awesome. But yeah,
They just got a new promotion.
She's kind of just, don't Jeff, please look. He's the one that did it. We should be happy that you're not going.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off with Lou inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords are strained from crying. Instead, strained from crying? His vocal cords? Really?
The fuck?
What sort of crying does he do?
What about his cold, ominous eyes? What's wrong with them, right? Aren't they?
Okay, yeah. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept in the driveway. Why would he weep in the driveway? That's so indecent. What would the neighbours think?
You know, this killer Jeff is starting to seem like such a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
This is the guy we're supposed to be scared of, by the way.
Right. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house, seeing that his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. Oh, disappointed, really? He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Lou when it was his fault. He just went to sleep trying to get... cracking up. Where was it? He just went to sleep trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by with no word from Lou at JDC. What is that?
Juvie.
Oh, Juvenile Detention Centre, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, JDC. Okay. No, wait. They wouldn't... He's a child. No one died. He would have been bailed. They wouldn't send him straight to juvie. How inaccurate is this? Where are their consultants?
Wounds, right? you know when you watch a Michael Bay film and they know stuff about the military, that's because, they actually research this shit.
But I don't think Michael Bay does.
But he at least gets
when you watch a Martin
right,
Scorsese film, they get consultants in. I don't think Michael Bay does fuck all.
Yeah, they probably get a lawyer in so he can explain how the justice system actually works to get that convict in jail. These guys, he hasn't quite, figured out. He's kind of just looking on the internet himself here, trying to get research.
All right, so Lou's at JDC. Okay, so no friends to hang out with, nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Saturday when Jeff is woke up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face.
What? Sunshiny?
And woke up by his mother. Woken up, it should be, right? Woken up by his mother. Okay. Jeff, it's the day, she said as she opened up the curtains to let light flood into his room. What's today? Asked Jeff as he stirs awake. Why, it's Billy's party. He was now full awake.
Was we really going to do this, Mum?
Yeah.
Brothers in JDC, are we still doing this?
Mum.
You're really happy about this with your sunshiny face?
Yeah. Mum, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kids' party after...
Oh, there we go.
There was a long pause. Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed. Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get ready herself. He thought himself to get up. He picked out a random shirt and a pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up. His mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought why they would ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party. He thought why...
Oh, please let it be a Satanist ritual.
That would make it interesting, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Son, is that all you're going to wear? Said Jeff's mum. Better than wearing too much, he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him. I thought he was going to talk about his own feelings again, sorry. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hid it with a smile.
Nice parent.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression, said his father. Jeff grunted and went back up to his room. "I don't have fancy clothes," he yelled down the stairs. "Just pick out something," called his mother. He looked around in his closet for what he would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which go with the dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. You know what? That is like my morning ritual. I can never find stuff that goes together. It's such a teenage girl's problem.
Do you have lots of checkered shirts that don't quite go with your black dress pants?
I actually do. I have lots of checkered shirts, and I'm just like, but I wear black trousers to work. Will they work? No, let's not. I'll take another change of clothes with me at work and change there. Yeah, it's frustrating stuff that this Jeff is going through. He's like he's a teenage girl.
Yeah. This is the real horror, right?
Yeah. Having too many clothes and not knowing what to wear and how to put them together. Anyway.
They found a white.
Anyway, if you want to listen to our discussion about clothes, tune in to episode 25 when we have nothing to talk about. So we'll be talking about our closets. Anyway, let's get back to Jeff the Killer.
Nice plug.
Yeah. "You're wearing that," they both said. His mother looked at her watch. "Oh no, time to change. Let's just go," she said as she heard Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door and it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, was way overdressed. It should be was way overdressed.
Yeah, way overdressed.
Okay.
Jesus.
As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids.
Uh-oh.
"The kids are out in the yard, Jeff." "No, the kids are out in the yard, full stop." "Jeff, how about you go and meet some of them?" said Barbara.
Wait a minute. How old is Jeff supposed to be?
Well, he said that that the 12-year-old was about a year younger than him, so Jeff's supposed to be 13, I'm assuming.
Still, a 13-year-old, you don't put all the kids out. Do you put out all the kids out in the yard to go play?
No, usually it has to be watched by the 13-year-olds.
Yeah. This is... Like, they're making... They're not quite getting their ages right. Like, I'll go play with the kids,
No, but I think... I think he actually did mention that he's not a kid. He doesn't need to hang out with them. He did it earlier on.
Okay.
If we're going to insult something, we should actually pay attention, Chris.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. All right. "The kids are out in the yard. Jeff, how about you go and meet some of them?" said Barbara. Jeff walked out. You know what? Like, this Barbara is creeping me out. Purely because, you know what? If I lived in a neighbourhood and the new neighbours, one of the kids, just got sent to juvie for stabbing another kid, I wouldn't want that kid's brother hanging out with my son.
Yeah. There's also something about the name Barbara always screams villain as well. I don't know what it is.
Either that or Barbara Windsor. I like Barbara Windsor.
I like Barbara Windsor.
All right. Jeff walked out... God, this story's fucking long. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in a Toys R Us. Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat. "Hey, wanna play?"
Oh, yes!
He said.
Because no kids are literate at probably that age, you know?
No. No, kid, I'm way too old for this stuff. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face. "Please," said the kid. "Fine," said Jeff. Can I just say Jeff's a fucking dick? Because I'm 22. I still play with the kids when they ask me to.
I play when there's no kids.
Yes. I'm always surrounded by children. Okay. "Please," said the kid. "Fine," said Jeff. He put on a hat and started to pretend to shoot at the kids. At first he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off of Lou. So he played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise, a weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. "Hello, Jeff, is it?" he said. "We have some unfinished business." Jeff saw his bruised nose. I think... Well, he fucked up his speech marks here, didn't he? "I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you got my brother sent to JDC.
Wait, first off, Randy, this guy stabbed you, by the way. Broke your arm. They stabbed you twice, actually, didn't they? 2 guys got stabbed.
Yeah.
And you want to go back and actually trade witty remarks with him once again?
This is only a few days afterwards. He just got stabbed. Shouldn't he be in, like, hospital or something?
Well. If it isn't the boy that stabbed me violently, you know?
Yes. Okay. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. Oh, no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today. As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets. What 12-year-olds have access to... Oh, well, America.
Oh, my good God. And this is happening in front of all the kids,
and
right?
The parents are running out as well.
And Jeff is dressed like a cowboy, hopefully.
Well, no, he ripped off the hat. He ripped off the hat.
He ripped it off.
Okay.
Of course, he ripped it off.
No one interrupts or guts will fly, they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Maybe that's why Jeff has a thing with stabbing shoulders. He stabbed the dad in the shoulder. He chucked the knife at the dad's shoulder at the beginning, didn't he?
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Connections.
Yeah.
We're getting into deeper stuff now.
Okay, so the writer did something right.
The plot
It's a throwback to the beginning. All right. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabbed his foot and twisted it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. Need some help? He picks Jeff up by the back of his collar and throws him through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. Come on, Jeff, fight me. I don't know why I did an accent there, but I did. He picks Jeff up and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. This is a children's party. Shouldn't they keep the vodka out of children's reach? Whatever.
What's the vodka doing there, and why is Jeff suddenly not fighting when he was all
because his
very
mummy's
happy
there
to do it before? Oh, right, okay.
Fight. He throws Jeff back into the living room. Come on, Jeff, look at me. Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC. And now you're just going to sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year. Wait a minute. He only got sent to juvie for a year for stabbing 2 children.
Oh, boy, the unbalancing issues in this is amazing.
You should be...
And I don't know what Randy's thing is about getting beat up, but he's this guy's weird.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, he's actually taking time out of his day to,
crash a children's
gate
birthday
crash a children's birthday party, which he didn't know he was going to be there, by the way, so some spying must have gone on. Yeah. He really is the epitome of a 90s villain of a TV show.
Okay. You should be ashamed. Jeff starts to get up. Oh, finally, you stand up and fight. Jeff is now to his feet. Blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets a strange feeling, the one in which he hasn't felt for a while.
I'm sorry, but that is such a Krieg line. I mean, the story's shit, but I really love that blood and vodka on his face. There's something really cool about that. Shall I continue?
Yeah, if you want to. I've actually just lost it.
Oh, finally, you stand and fight. Jeff is now to his feet. Blood and vodka on his face. Krieg. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one in which he hasn't felt for a while. Finally, he's up, says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. Wow, nice one, Jeff.
He pile drived Randy.
Like that, I thought it was going to do something really crazy, but pile driving.
No, can I just say he pile drived Randy?
I just got it. There is some real... jokes aside, there's some homoeroticism going on in this. There's some subtext.
Which we're cool with. We're cool with.
Oh, we're cool with. I just think it's amazing. He's trying to spread it in the internet. Okay,
No, you know what? Like, Randy's like a pretty normal name in America.
Oh, yeah, but I'm sorry, but I can't imagine Randy.
And I don't think... I think the person that wrote this is too young to have read Kama Sutra, so, they wouldn't know what hard driving is.
He likes wrestling, but... Okay, where are we?
He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart.
Of course. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. Straight in the heart! The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As Randy gasps for breath... Okay, that's just a sentence. Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Just to mention, his two friends, Bulk and Skull, have guns, so they could have stopped this at any point they wanted to.
Yeah, that is true. And also, punching him in the heart would not stop it. I think maybe if he broke a rib, that pierced the heart.
Yeah, I think this guy lives in a world where we are all just skin and guts.
Watch a few episodes of ER, that's what I'm saying. Anyway.
Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith. Ugh. Although they easily break from their gaze and point the guns at Jeff, Jeff sees the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. They've got Stormtrooper syndrome, I suppose. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready.
What happened to the guns?
Ready, aren't they? And just... Yeah, I think they're out of ammo, is what he was trying to say to us.
Right.
He just used a bit too much to
And then chuck the gum at him. That's just...
Exactly.
That would slow him down a little bit.
Like that ever happens. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy, though. He's level 64. And ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him. I shit you not, that's what it says.
It really does.
A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. Okay, let's just go with that like it's normal.
Shouldn't it just be a bottle? Why could you just not write a bottle of bleach?
A bottle of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. Just say it fell on top. A bottle of bleach fell on top of him.
Or fell from the top shelf.
Yeah. It burnt both of them, and they both start... Who keeps a bottle of bleach with no cap on it?
Especially someone that lives with children. That's Billy and Barbara's house.
So they start.
But then again, they did have the bottle of vodka lying around at a kid's party.
Of course,
so.
yeah. The Barbara is... You were right about her. I mean, something about Barbara. She wants something to happen in that house. Anyway, Jeff wiped his eyes as best he could. He pulled back the towel.
Hold on a second. I don't think Jeff understands bleach. Wipe the bleach out of his eyes as best he could.
That's all right. Just wipe it out. It's fine. No hot... They didn't say, like... meanwhile, halfway through the fight, they stopped and washed their face with some hot water and then continued. Because that's what you have to do, kids, if you're listening, all right? Just bleach ain't a laughing matter. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there... So Keith has gone down. As he lay there bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. And he didn't just let out a smile. He let out an ominous... I don't know how one lets out an ominous smile.
Jeff is an ominous killer. He lets out ominous smiles.
He gets ominous feelings. Yeah, he's just an ominous guy.
Okay.
What's so funny? Asked Jeff. We're going into Joker territory here. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on.
I thought Keith was bleeding to death.
I thought so too.
He had the towel rack in his head.
Oh, for fuck's sake. He's got bleach everywhere. Oh, Jesus. What's funny, he said, is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol. Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him... Wait, because of the alcohol, right?
Funny, he said. Oh, so Jeff said, what's funny? The second time... Oh, no, that's one sentence he's saying. What's funny is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol. Okay, then. All right, that just confused me. He split it up with the he said in the middle.
As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignite the alcohol in the vodka. While the he must have had a lot of fucking vodka on him. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. I'm glad they're... Fine, that's fine. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire,
Are you sure it was an ominous screech? Sorry, I had to.
He fell down... No. He tried to do an ominous roll to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The ominous alcohol had made him into a walking ominous inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the... Oh, for fuck's sake, Jeff. This is like... Oh, my goodness. Benny Hill shit. Found down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire.
He's no man.
Dropped to the ground, nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and the other parents trying to extinguish the flame, probably with bleach.
Wait, was that just the one flame? Then what was the big deal about?
That's when he passed out. Oh.
It was just the one... Was it one flame or many flames, okay? Because many flames is a big deal. One flame, not really. He could put it out himself.
Yeah.
I've had one flame on my arm before. I put it out.
Yeah. This vodka, right? I've seen bottles of vodka. You can get so much on. If you smash it on someone's head, is it really going to be? I'm not going to bring science into this. That's it. Okay. When Joe woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. Because fire does that, kids. He tried to stand up, but he realised that there was some tube in his arm, and when he tried to get up, it fell out, and a nurse rushed in. How did he know a nurse rushed in? He's got his head held up. Okay. I don't think you can get out of bed just yet, she said, as she put him back in his bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea of what his surroundings were, except for the nurse, which he knew was a nurse. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. "Honey, are you okay?" she asked. Jeff couldn't answer, though. His face was covered, and he was unable to speak. "Oh, honey, I have great news." Again with the great news. "After all, the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed to trying to attack you. They decided to let you go." This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. Oh, my God. He'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be able to be together again. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff. Oh, my God, straight away. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Then came the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it, what he would look like. As the doctor unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed. "Let's hope for the best," said the doctor. What a fucking shit doctor. I swear, you should know what he looks like now. You're just being cruel. "Okay," said the doctor. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. Bad mother. Lou and Jeff's dad stare. Oh, this is just a bad family. Okay. What? Wait, I'm just going to... He's been lit on fire, right? So he's probably got no lips. What? What's happened to my face? Jeff said. He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of the distress. His face. It's horrible.
He had a flame on it, of course it's horrible. Just the one flame, though.
I've been hit by a lighter and I turned out horrible, you know. His lips were all burnt to a deep shade of red. Ooh. His face was turned into a pure white colour. I don't know how, maybe that's the bleach. And his hair singed from brown to black.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with black hair, alright?
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, if you get hit by fire, you shouldn't even have it.
Yeah, that is true. Like, every time I burn my fringe off, I have to have another haircut. It's ridiculous.
Lucky he's just changed colour, you know, it's just singed.
Yeah.
He slowly put his hand to his face. It had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family, then back to the mirror. "Jeff," said Lou, "it's not that bad." "Not that bad," said Jeff. "It's perfect." His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching. "Oh, for fuck's sake. Jeff, are you okay?" "Okay, fuck the lips. Okay, I've never felt more happy." "Ha ha 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 ha. Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me." He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity, snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing
Wait,
machine.
couldn't that have stopped that the few weeks he was in the hospital and they were actually having conversations with the fucker?
Yeah. Oh, it says he just woke, so I'm assuming he was in a coma.
No. But then a few weeks went by.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, of course. But not just that. Is this guy telling us what's already implied?
Yeah.
Like, he actually thinks, oh, maybe these guys are too dumb. Okay,
Yeah,
we're coming to the end of this
pretty
now. We're coming to the end of this spooky spectacular now, Tommy.
Right.
"Doctor," said Jeff's mum, "is my son all right? You know, in the head?" "Oh, yes. This behaviour is typical for patients that have taken very large amounts of painkillers. If this behaviour doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here and we'll give him a psychological
That's absolute fucking bullshit.
test." Mm-hmm. Shit.
The writer does not have a medical degree. We already know this now. Or a pharmacy degree. Or chemistry degree. One of them.
This is just silly. "Oh, thank you, Doctor." Jeff's mum went over to Jeff. "Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go
Wait,
home."
can I just stop you there before we read the rest of it? When they take him home, does he murder his family by any chance?
I've no idea.
Let's carry on then.
The thing is, the only time I read about this synopsis was that beginning extract with the guy, like the urban legend of him.
Alright, let's just place bets. I place the bet that he will murder his family when they take him home, and that's yeah, it's a bit like Halloween, isn't it? Oh my god, this is exactly like Halloween, the origin story of Michael Myers.
There you go. It's also a bit of a rip-off as well.
And Leatherface as well.
Yeah. Okay, you make that bet, right?
Yeah.
I bet that Randy is... Oh, wait, no, he's dead, isn't he?
No, it's Keith that's dead, isn't it? Oh, no, Randy is dead as well.
Randy's dead. I was going to say he's probably the father of the son that was in the story at the beginning, but no, I can't say that. I bet one of those characters comes back into it, especially Barbara.
I bet that the writer says ominous a few more times.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get that. I'm sure of it. Okay. "Oh, thank you, Doctor." Jeff's mum went over to Jeff. "Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go." Jeff looks away from the mirror. His face is still formed into a crazy smile. "Okay, mummy." His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes. Always taking everyone by the shoulder.
Yeah.
"This is what came in," said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mum's looked down to see the black dress, pants, and the white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched together.
Yeah, because they wouldn't just throw it away, would they?
No, of course. They're also a tailor. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life.
Oh, I knew it.
God! Oh my God! Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks. "Jeff, what are you doing?" asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother. "I couldn't keep smiling, Mummy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever." Jeff's mother noticed his eyes, ringed in black. "Jeff, your eyes!" His eyes were seemingly never closing. His eyes were seemingly never closing. Seemingly, but never closing. I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself, my new face. Okay, your eyes would just fuck up, mate. Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane. What's wrong, Mummy?
Was going insane.
Was going insane. We can fix him. What's wrong, Mummy? Aren't I beautiful? Yes, son, she said. Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy, so he can see your face. She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. Honey, get the gun. She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife. Mummy, you lie.
What 13-year-old says mummy?
Yeah. And what Mum says the first resort is to get the gun.
Yeah, that's your son, you psychotic woman.
He's crazy, but
I'm pretty sure it's genetically inherited.
Yeah, this is when you can tell it's written by a teenager who has no essence of family or,
And teenagers are obsessed with guns, it seems, and knives.
Oh, yeah. Well, that works for him. Okay. That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with the knife, gutting both of them. Nice. His brother Lou woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Lou. Lou thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. Shh, Jeff said. Just go to sleep. The end.
Yeah, I think the scariest thing about this story is that we've gotten to the end of it, and I can now see the rating is 8.7 out of 10.
Yeah, so the grade that these people give these stories is nothing to go by, seriously. But it's kind of entertaining in its own little way, isn't it?
Well, we spent an hour just taking the piss out of it, so yeah. So basically, when we said we were going to discuss creepypasta at the beginning of the episode, we should have said, we're going to read you a story for an hour.
Well,
I did not think that we'd spend that long on it.
Was it a whole hour?
Yeah. It was over. I think it's over an hour.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's a typical example of creepypasta, which people on the internet love, but for some reason, they love this stuff, even though it's badly written, cliched as hell. It's hyper cliched, and it's really bad. If you saw this in a book, you'd want your money back. If you saw it in a cinema, you'd walk out. But something about the internet, it brings together the good and the bad.
Oh, I wish it
and just
didn't,
puts it on one side. I know. There's no quality control on this stuff.
Like, there's no sense of achievement anymore, though, isn't there? Like, stuff with creepypasta. You would have to spend years refining a piece of your creative work and send it into a publisher.
Gets 8.7?
Yeah, send it into a publisher to see what they think, and then you have rejection after rejection after rejection until someone gives you a shot. That's achievement. Now anyone could self-publish. It's the reason for all the Twilights and the 50 Shades of Grey in the world, I think.
Oh, boy. I'm going to say even Twilight has a better story than this.
I still say Twilight is the worst thing I've ever read in my entire life.
You actually read it?
Yeah, I read the first book.
Oh, wow.
I think that's the last book I ever read. I was just like, no more, I can't do it anymore. I used to read books constantly, and then I'm pretty sure that's the last book I've read. Oh, God, it was awful.
Hey, look, you balance out Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter's brilliant. That's got a storyline.
Well, as we conclude this, should we wrap it up here?
Yeah, well, I think we have to. I have other things that I wanted to say, but it doesn't matter now. We have to wrap it up.
Till next time, anyway. That was Jeff the Killer, and a creepypasta goodbye to all you fans out there.
Bye from Tarmim and Chris at the Dorks Deduction, because we did not introduce ourselves at the beginning. Bye.
Bye.